Person called me up and says they had a pristine 1974 Triumph Spitfire. So I figured, what the heck? I'm gonna go check it out.
So I've owned the Spitfire now for a year, and I have it up for sale. It's time to move on to another bucket list item, and hopefully Rick will make me an offer I can't resist.
I mean, they got a great history with them. They started off as a bicycle company. The bicycle company eventually turned into a motorcycle company, and then they got a big contract with the British government for motorcycles for World War I. In the late 20s, early 30s, they started making cars. And then that Depression thing came along, so they ended up selling off the motorcycle division. So then there was two companies named Triumph. There was Triumph Motorcycles and there was Triumph Cars. The weird thing is now, though, BMW owns the brand name Triumph. So there's this rumor every year that they're gonna come out with a new Triumph Spitfire.
Oh, I didn't know that.
For years, they've been saying that, but it just never happens. All right, so where did you get this particular one?
Well, I found this car over in Arizona, and what was great about it is that a mechanic owned it, so it was in running condition. Most of the Spitfires I have looked at were project cars and not in running condition. So that was a huge plus for me finding this car because I didn't have to put a lot of money into it for transmission or the motor.
So how much you want for it?
Well, I looked it up online, and a car like this in good condition, they tend to go for about $6,000.
Okay. I mean, this car does have some problems.
I know it
there's
does.
a lot of body problems on it. Let me have a friend of mine look at it, okay?
Okay, sure.
And let me go give him a call and get him down here. He's actually just lives down the street. So
That's wonderful.
give me 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'm calling Bill to check it out because there is a market for this car. Maybe there's a possibility I could do something with it. Spitfire. Spits fire out the back.
This is a Mark IV Spitfire. You can typically tell the Mark IVs by the big rubber bumper pads that you have on there. It was a tough time in the U.S. for cars because the safety regulations had come in, and they started to have to do 5-mile-an-hour impact bumpers and things like that. So you can tell it's the last production of these cars until they stopped making them in 1980. How long have you had the car?
For 1 year. It was a bucket list item.
It was a bucket, or it was the list?
It was the bucket list.
Yeah, you can see there's a little bit of color variation between the cowl and the fender. She's been around the block. Can I take a look at the engine?
Sure.
All right.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think my arm is bigger than the whole engine. The 1500s, they weren't really known as a huge powerhouse. You know, underneath here, it seems to be some original paint down below, like maybe they did a respray on the top, but those things make a difference, you know, depending on whether you're gonna keep it, drive it as is, or restore it. I say we take it for a spin.
I think so.
All right, we'll see you again, hopefully. She's a nice little ride here. Just a couple of dudes out in a 2-seat convertible, living the dream, brother.
Cruising down the highway.
Is the windshield frame blocking your perspective?
I mean, it's like the windshield frame is straight in the middle of my face. So what do you think?
If this car in this condition were sitting on a showroom floor, you're gonna be somewhere $3,500 to $4,000 on this car. Glad I was able to take a drive and have that exhilarating experience with my buddy Rick. Good seeing you.
Have a good one, man.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
It's a cute car.
It needs a lot of work. When I buy something like this, you know, I generally buy it to make money, and there's no money to be made.
Okay.
But thanks for letting me look at it.
Well, thank you so much.
All
Thanks
right.
for coming out. Bye-bye. Well, Rick did not make me an offer on the car, and I am a little bit disappointed, but it looks like I may just hang on to it a little bit longer.
Mr. Brown and I got along famously.
Why he tittled through a pass, I caught the ball myself.
It's got a name engraved on it.
How did you end up with this?
Sounds so fun.